The mask has fallen, and the game is over. Someone who thought they could manipulate, deceive, and block your path has been caught red-handed, and now they're crashing out. Their lies have unraveled, their plans have failed, and the evidence is undeniable. This is more than their downfall. It's your breakthrough. Stay with me, because this is the moment you've been waiting for, and it's time to claim your victory. Financial records betray the truth they sought to bury. Transactions, once camouflaged in the chaos of numbers, now gleam with undeniable clarity. Each figure, a thread of deception, meticulously unraveled. Hidden accounts, suspicious transfers, and falsified records have turned into damning evidence, exposing not just a pattern of deceit, but the intent behind it. These receipts are more than paper trails. They are confessions without words, unraveling webs spun to ensnare trust and loyalty. Text messages and emails stand as witnesses of their own. Words exchanged in confidence are now sharpened blades of truth, carving through layers of pretense. Promises made in private, plans hatched in secrecy, and unguarded admissions all serve as a narrative they can no longer deny. Documents once held as mere artifacts now transform into proof, their ink binding them to betrayals so deliberate they strike like thunder. It is not the content alone, but the tone, the timing, and the frequency that leave no room for innocence. And then there are the voices. Testimonies from those who saw, those who knew, those who were caught in the storm. These accounts are not whispers or murmurs, they are clarion calls, drawing a line between manipulation and accountability. Witnesses do not merely speak, they lay bare the manipulation, pulling down the facade piece by piece. Every statement, every corroboration ties them tighter to the truth they thought could be forever obscured. What's left is not mystery, but the chilling weight of clarity. They struck first, thinking their schemes would remain veiled, yet their efforts to harm you, to derail your momentum, have only exposed their true faces. The lies they spun to hold you back now suffocate them, the very web tightening with every desperate attempt to maintain control. Their intentions were calculated, layered with malice, but cracks formed where they believed the foundation was solid. Every manipulative word, every strategic attempt to tarnish you has unraveled under the weight of truth. Now they are left in a storm of their own creation, humiliated, desperate, and unmasked for all to see. Public exposure has turned their once guarded lies into the spectacle of their downfall. Whispers of their deceit have grown into a roar of condemnation, their desperation evident as they scramble to rewrite narratives that no longer belong to them. What they orchestrated to harm others now cripples them, with every denial sounding hollow, every counterattack more feeble than the last. The walls they built to contain you have crumbled, leaving them stranded and without leverage. Their failure is not just a private undoing, but a very public reckoning. Drop a comment. Their downfall is my victory, if their collapse has proven your strength. The tortoise and the hare serves as a perfect metaphor for what has unfolded here. A timeless illustration of arrogance, underestimation, and the quiet strength of perseverance. They rushed ahead, fueled by overconfidence and a belief in their own invincibility. In their minds, the race was already won before it began, their speed and bravado blinding them to the pitfalls of their recklessness. They sprinted recklessly, cutting corners, ignoring the integrity of the path, and mistaking shortcuts for strategy. But the truth is simple. Speed without purpose or care leads to missteps, and those missteps are what sealed their downfall. Like the hare, they became complacent, convinced they were untouchable. Their arrogance was not only their greatest weakness, but also the force driving their every miscalculation. While they operated with a frantic energy, showing off and exhausting their resources, you remained steady, deliberate, and focused. You didn't rely on flash or theatrics. You relied on resilience, discipline, and a belief in the process. The turmoil within you is no accident. There have been moments of exhaustion, of being inexplicably out of sync, as if an unseen weight has pressed against your very being. These are the echoes of external forces, their manipulations, their attempts to pull you into their chaos, to sap your strength. But now something has shifted. Where once you felt drained, you are suddenly aware of a growing fire within you, a resurgence of energy they thought they had extinguished. The balance they disrupted is restoring itself, and you feel it in ways that words can scarcely contain. This is not coincidence, this is reclamation. Physically, your body is responding to the shift. Appetite returns where there was indifference, and the vibrancy of your senses begins to reawaken. What was dulled now sharpens. Colors seem more vivid, sounds more resonant, movement more purposeful. Creativity flows like a river unblocked, your mind conjuring ideas and solutions as if the dam holding back your brilliance has been broken. This is the natural course, when their influence dissolves, when their attempts to control you falter and fail. These changes are not subtle. They are declarations, loud and clear, that you are regaining what was yours all along. You are not just recovering, you are ascending. Their disruption was temporary, but your resurgence is undeniable. Every breath you take now is yours, and every step forward leaves their failed schemes buried further in the past. You've seen it. The cracks in their facade are no longer faint. They are splitting wide open for all to witness. Those who once seemed untouchable, unshakable, now falter before your eyes. Nervous gestures betray the tension they can no longer suppress. Darting eyes, clenched fists, or the relentless tapping of fingers as if trying to outrun their own guilt. They avoid direct engagement, their words cautious and clipped, trying desperately not to let too much slip. But the avoidance is telling. It is not strategy. It is fear taking root. Their frustration simmers just beneath the surface, visible in strained smiles and moments of unguarded outbursts. These are not accidents or anomalies. They are signals. Where there was once poise, there is now disarray, a direct response to the walls closing in around them. Every misstep, every hesitation exposes their growing awareness that their charade is unraveling. They no longer command the room as they once did, no longer weave stories with confidence. Instead, their words stumble and falter, weighed down by the knowledge that the truth is too heavy to outrun. You are being spoken to in a language older than words, a rhythm that pulses through the unseen. The numbers appear 111, 444, not as mere coincidence, but as markers, signposts from forces beyond comprehension. They are not random. They are precise, deliberate, aligning themselves with your steps to assure you that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Each repetition is a resonance, a vibration that calls out to your intuition, reminding you that the universe is not chaotic, but intentional. These moments are not whispers. They are declarations of alignment, carved into the fabric of your reality. Then there are the dreams, the ones that pull you out of ordinary sleep and into something deeper. These visions do not fade with waking, but linger, vivid and purposeful, as if carrying a message you were always meant to receive. They confirm truths you've known but struggled to articulate, providing clarity like a sudden burst of sunlight through a dense fog. These are not random flickers of the subconscious. They are moments of convergence between your inner wisdom and the forces guiding you, and then those uncanny moments of certainty. They strike with such precision, it feels as though you've been handed the blueprint to your own destiny. These synchronicities are not to be dismissed. They are the proof that your energy is in alignment, the evidence that you are seen, guided, and empowered. Each one is a key, unlocking the next step in your unfolding purpose. The phrase, "Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks," found in Matthew chapter 12, verse 34, underscores the profound connection between inner truth and outward expression. Spoken by Jesus to expose hypocrisy, it serves as a timeless principle. What resides deeply within will inevitably surface. This is the context in which their unraveling becomes evident. Their polished facade, once carefully maintained, can no longer contain the overflow of their true nature. Frustration leaks into their words, and bitterness sharpens their tone. Subtle slips in language betray motivations they once buried, exposing resentment, envy, or fear. This phrase applies powerfully in moments of heightened pressure. When composure fails, the unfiltered essence of their character emerges, like water pouring from a cracked vessel. Here, no pretense survives. Their intentions are laid bare, not through accusations, but through their own words and actions, leaving no doubt about the truth of who they are. Here's to you, the chosen one, the one who doesn't fit in, the one who sees beyond the veil, the one who's been told to stay quiet, to settle, to conform, but never could. You aren't interested in what's ordinary. You aren't here to follow someone else's rules. You're the light in the dark, the storm that shatters illusions, the unshakable, the unstoppable, the untouchable. While the world is busy running circles, you're walking your own path, alone if you must. Not for the applause, not for the approval, but because it's who you are. Here's to you, who take what was meant to destroy you and transform it into something divine. The one who carries wisdom that can't be taught, only earned. If this resonates with you, then maybe it's time to find your people. The Obsidian Inner Order is the only place of its kind, the #1 Ascension nexus for chosen ones, where over 400 of us gather to share wisdom, connect and transform. No masks, no games, just truth. The link is in the description. If you're ready, you'll know where to find us. Protecting yourself begins with understanding the gravity of the situation. Those tied to the exposed will attempt to bridge gaps, subtly or boldly, seeking information to weaponize against you. Do not grant them access. Cautious communication is essential. Words are not just fleeting sounds, they are tools, and in the wrong hands, weapons. Speak with precision. Share only what cannot be twisted or turned against you. Document interactions, not out of fear, but as a shield, a record of integrity should the need arise. Keep every detail, every conversation that feels pointed or calculated. It is your safeguard against distortion. Strengthen your boundaries as if fortifying a fortress. You do not owe explanations. You do not owe access. Trust the signals beneath the surface, the subtle shifts in energy that tell you when someone's intentions are misaligned. Trust your intuition. It is sharper than you think. Limit interactions that do not serve your purpose. Distance is not avoidance, it is clarity. In this, you preserve your strength, your focus, and your autonomy, ensuring no one holds leverage over what is rightfully yours to command. Pay attention to the subtle shifts in behavior around you. If someone starts probing in ways that feel uncomfortable or unnecessary, don't dismiss it. Keep your answers guarded, avoid offering more than what's necessary, and trust your gut. Your intuition is often your strongest ally in safeguarding your position and integrity. You are witnessing the precision of a greater order where nothing occurs without purpose. Their exposure is not random. It is the culmination of forces moving in harmony to restore justice and balance. What seemed hidden for so long was always set to be revealed at this moment, when the impact would be undeniable and the timing in your favor. Their collapse is not just a consequence of their actions, it is a correction in the scales, a rebalancing of the power they abused. Divine timing operates in ways that transcend your immediate understanding, aligning events with purpose. Their downfall comes now because you are prepared to step into the space they tried to dominate. You are ready to thrive in the absence of their interference, and this moment clears the path for you to do so. The sequence of events leading here, your perseverance, the subtle signs you noticed, their missteps, is not mere coincidence. It is a chain reaction set in motion by forces that do not falter. Justice unfolds, not in haste, but in precision. Their exposure is a statement, a necessary act, to strip them of their false influence and return energy to its rightful flow. What they tried to control has unraveled, not because of luck, but because the balance demanded it. This is the timing you were meant to witness, the moment when all things align to reveal truth, empower you, and ensure the scales of justice tip toward your favor. In Greek mythology, King Midas was granted the power to turn everything he touched into gold, a gift born from greed that became his undoing. His obsession with wealth blinded him to the consequences until he found himself unable to eat, drink, or even embrace those he loved. His folly exposed a universal truth: unchecked greed and the pursuit of shortcuts lead to ruin. This story mirrors those who, like Midas, are now crashing under the weight of their own excess and deception. Their hunger for power or influence, driven by arrogance, has trapped them in a self-made web of consequences. Integrity is your greatest armor. Greed and shortcuts may offer fleeting gains, but they lack the foundation to endure. Choose actions rooted in principle and honesty, even when the path seems slower. In doing so, you safeguard your future and avoid the destructive collapse awaiting those who compromise integrity. You are witnessing the inevitable reckoning of those who thought they could outrun consequence. Their karma has arrived, and it strikes with precision. They no longer have the energy or resources to maintain their lies. The facade they constructed is collapsing under its own weight. Every deception, every calculated betrayal they once wielded as power has turned against them, stripping them of their grip on the narrative. Their exhaustion is not just physical but spiritual, drained by the relentless pursuit of keeping their falsehoods intact. Now they stand exposed, their illusions shattered, unable to summon the strength to rebuild. Their frustration is a mirror, reflecting their failure to escape the force they cannot manipulate, divine justice. This is not punishment born of malice, but a correction, a rebalancing of the scales they tipped in their favor for too long. Their inability to control outcomes, to spin truths, to evade accountability, fuels their desperation. It is the frustration of knowing they are no longer untouchable, that the truth they feared is now undeniable. This moment is a reminder of an eternal law. Nothing hidden stays hidden forever. They crash not because of bad luck, but because their actions demanded balance. They exhausted themselves fighting a force far greater than their schemes. And now, justice does what they cannot resist. Their fall is not random, it is the sharp and certain response to their choices. What they gave to the world now comes back to claim its due. This moment is a testament to the power of integrity. Their fall is not just their reckoning, it is a reminder of the consequences that come when actions are divorced from principles. Their collapse is loud, chaotic, a warning of what happens when greed and dishonesty become the foundation of ambition. For you, the lesson is clear. Your path, grounded in integrity, is unshakable. What you build with honor cannot be undone by external forces, because it stands on truth. This is the law of alignment. What is sown in deceit will always unravel, but what is sown in honesty will endure. Their energy was never in alignment with yours, and this dissonance is why they could not sustain their control. They operated from manipulation and force, driven by motives that clashed with your principles. The failure you now witness was inevitable because they were working against the natural order, trying to bend truth into their favor without the strength to hold it. The disconnect between your path and theirs was not a weakness on your part. It was a strength, a shield that kept you from being truly entangled in their chaos. This is your spiritual awakening, a moment to affirm that your integrity is your greatest protection. When you act from alignment, no deception can dismantle your progress. Let their fall be a lesson, not of fear, but of empowerment. You rise when your energy is clean, untainted, and aligned with your higher purpose. Friedrich Nietzsche warned, "Whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process he does not become a monster." This truth carries weight as you witness their downfall. Their collapse is a consequence of abandoning integrity for ambition, of succumbing to manipulation and deceit in pursuit of power. It is easy, when confronting such forces, to be drawn into the same destructive energy, to meet cunning with cunning, to allow bitterness or vengeance to shape your actions. But that is the trap they fell into, and it led to their undoing. Let their downfall serve as a warning and a guide. Stay grounded in your values, holding firmly to what is just and honorable. Integrity is your armor, and it will protect you when all else falters. Do not let their chaos influence your actions. Rise above the fray, remembering that power rooted in truth is unshakable and enduring. Purity of intention is your compass, and aligned actions are your power. Do not allow distractions or short-term gains to pull you away from your higher purpose. The fall of others you have witnessed was not due to external forces alone. It was the inevitable consequence of choices made in misalignment. Let this be your guide. Every step you take, every decision you make, must be rooted in clarity, honesty, and the unwavering commitment to your values. This is how you ensure that your foundation remains unshakable, no matter the chaos around you. The company you keep shapes the energy of your path. Surround yourself with those whose integrity resonates at a high vibration, whose presence uplifts rather than drains. Those with toxic intentions or self-serving agendas will reveal themselves through subtle shifts in behavior, energy, or actions. Do not hesitate to distance yourself from them. Protecting your space is not isolation, it is cultivation, creating an environment where your growth and purpose can flourish unimpeded. Not all connections are meant to last. Some are temporary lessons, revealing what must be released for you to ascend. Misaligned energies reveal themselves through dissonance, a heaviness in interactions, a lack of reciprocity, or a constant drain on your spirit. When relationships or connections no longer serve your growth, it is not weakness to let them go, it is strength. You cannot pour your energy into paths that pull you away from your higher purpose. Recognize the signs: unspoken resentment, veiled manipulation, or a failure to meet you where you stand. These are indicators that it's time to sever ties, not out of anger, but with clarity. What does not align with your evolution has no place in your life. Their downfall holds a mirror to your resilience. Where they faltered, you stood grounded, refusing to abandon your principles, even when the road seemed more difficult. Their choices highlight the paths you deliberately avoided, the shortcuts, the compromises, the hollow victories. Their mistakes emphasize your refusal to waver, your ability to endure without losing integrity. This is not just about their failure, it's about your refusal to be drawn into the same traps. You have thrived because you chose substance over illusion. Their collapse is a reminder of your strength, the ability to weather storms without succumbing to them, to navigate obstacles without losing sight of your purpose. Their fall is proof that staying true to your principles, even when tested, leads not to failure, but to unshakable power. Use this moment to honor your resilience and recommit to your path. I once trusted a co-worker deeply, only to discover they had shared private conversations with others at work. The betrayal stung. I was furious, hurt, and questioning my own judgment. But when I stepped back, I saw the lesson hidden in the pain. Their actions forced me to re-evaluate my boundaries and taught me the importance of protecting my energy. It showed me who truly supported me and who didn't. That experience reshaped how I approached trust, making my connections stronger and more intentional. What felt like a loss turned into a gift of resilience and clarity. If you've faced a similar betrayal, see it as a catalyst for your growth. Painful moments reveal the strength and wisdom you carry within. Value your boundaries and choose connections that honor them. Betrayal is not your failure. It's a redirection toward relationships that truly nurture your spirit. Those who wielded influence through manipulation and deceit are being stripped of their positions. Their power, once built on falsehoods, is crumbling as the truth surfaces. The structures they relied on can no longer sustain them. This collapse creates space for you, those aligned with integrity and purpose, to step into roles they could never hold with honor. The moment calls for decisive action, for you to claim what has always been yours. This is not a coincidence, but a rebalancing, a shift toward rightful order. Manifestations are no longer distant possibilities, they are arriving with speed. Clarity cuts through confusion, presenting opportunities that demand your attention and alignment. The Chinese proverb, "The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now," reminds you that this is the moment to act. Root yourself in your goals, sharpen your focus, and let the accelerated energy propel your growth. You've arrived at this point not by accident, but by endurance and alignment. Trust that the opportunities now flowing to you are yours to claim. Oprah Winfrey once said, "Challenges are gifts that force us to find a new center of gravity. Don't fight them. Just find a new way to stand." Every challenge you have faced prepared you to hold this position with grace. Stand in your power, fully aware that you have earned it. Each trial, every moment of doubt or struggle shaped you for this exact moment. Trust the timing. The victories now within reach are not simply rewards. They are confirmations of your growth. Let your confidence come from knowing that no storm you've weathered was in vain. This is your time to rise with purpose, unshaken and ready. Your moment of victory is here. Acknowledge it with gratitude, not arrogance. This is not the time for gloating or reveling in the collapse of others, no matter how satisfying it may seem. The power you now hold comes from your ability to rise above, not just to win, but to elevate yourself beyond the chaos that sought to pull you down. Your strength lies in your grace. Let others be drawn to your light because of your integrity, not your indulgence in drama. Your path is far from over. This is not a final destination, but a significant turning point. Stay focused on the blessings ahead and the work required to prepare for them. Desperation can lead to reckless attempts from those who fear your rise. Remain vigilant. Trust your instincts. Guard your peace, and let your growth be unshakable. You were chosen for this moment because you can carry it with honor. This isn't just about their fall, it's about your ascension. Everything you've endured has shaped you for this rise. Trust the process, protect your alignment, and let the universe continue to work in your favor. You've proven you can hold power without corruption, purpose without distraction. Now share your story. Let your words inspire, guide, and uplift others who need to see what it means to walk in alignment with truth. This is your moment to rise, and it is only the beginning.